All right, guys, we're going to do Unit 6, Section 3, talking about polynomials. All right? The simplest type of polynomial is called a monomial. All right? A monomial is a number or a variable or the product of numbers and variables. And here's the key. With the exponent, a whole number. Okay? So a monomial can be a number or a variable or the product of a number and variables with the exponent a whole number. So let's identify some of these. Okay, so is this a monomial? Okay, well it's got a number, it's got variables, and the exponents are whole numbers. So this is a monomial. All right, is this a monomial? Well, it's got numbers, it's got variables. However, you can't have this because that is the same as y to the 1/2. So this is not. This one, yes, we have numbers, we have variables, and all of our exponents are whole numbers. And then what about this one? We have numbers, we have variables. However, the exponent is 3.2, so not, because of the 3.2. Okay, a polynomial is one monomial or the sum or difference of monomials. So there's the difference. You have to have an addition sign or a subtraction sign to make a monomial into polynomials. All right? Polynomials can be classified by the number of terms. We've already talked about a monomial has one term. A binomial has 2 terms. And a trinomial has 3 terms. Okay? So here's an example of a monomial. An example of a binomial could be 3x squared y plus 4x. This addition sign separates the 2 monomials, which makes it a binomial, 2 terms. And then an example of a trinomial could be so we have this subtraction and this addition separating the 3 monomials, which makes this a trinomial. All right, so now we're going to classify these polynomials and decide whether it's a monomial, a binomial, a trinomial, or it might not even be a polynomial. Okay, so this one does not have any addition or subtraction, so we need to see if it's a monomial. So we got to check our exponents. Are all of our exponents whole numbers? Yes, so it's a monomial. This one has a subtraction sign, so there's 2 terms, so it could be a binomial. So let's check our exponents. We have a positive 2 and we have a negative 2. This negative 2 creates it to be not a binomial, so it's not even a polynomial. Okay, let's look at C. We have addition and we have subtraction. So there's 1, 2, 3 monomials, 3 terms here, okay? So let's see if it's a polynomial. We have a positive exponent and a positive exponent, so it is a polynomial, and there's 3 terms. We call this a trinomial. We have this addition sign. We have 2 terms, so this is called a binomial. The exponents are whole numbers, so it is a polynomial. We have this addition sign, so we have two terms. Check the exponents, they are whole numbers. So with two terms, that's a binomial. This one has a subtraction sign. We have two terms, but we have a 2.5 as our exponent, and it needs to be a whole number, so this is not a polynomial. Okay, the degree of a term is the sum of the exponents of the variables in each term. The degree of the polynomial is the same as the term with the greatest degree. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different terms here. Remember, terms are separated by addition or subtraction signs. All of our exponents are whole numbers, so it is a polynomial. So we look at each term. This first term, our degree is the greatest exponent. So that would be a 2. This second term, our degree is the greatest exponent, which would be a 5. Now on this one, we have an exponent of a 1 and an exponent of a 1. So our greatest exponent is 1. And remember, when we have a constant, the degree is 0, because there's no exponent. And why do we know that? Because let's say we have x to the 0 power. Well, that equals 1, and 1 times 5 is just 5. Okay, so we've given the degree of each term. So what is the degree of this polynomial? It's the greatest degree. So the degree of the polynomial is 5. So let's practice this. Okay, find the degree of each polynomial. So on top, we're going to do each term. This degree is 1. This degree is 0. So the greatest degree of this polynomial, by the way, it's a binomial, is 1. All right, let's look at this one. The greatest degree of this first term is 1. Of this one is 2. Last one is 0. So the degree of this trinomial is 2. We got this binomial. Y has an exponent of 1. The constant is 0, so the degree of this binomial is 1. We've got this trinomial. First term is 1. Second term is 4. Last term is 1, so the degree of this trinomial is 4. Okay. So, we have a polynomial, and it has two terms. We want to know the degree of this. Well, that degree is 1, that degree is 0. So the greatest degree is 1. Name using the degree, so it's linear. Number of terms, 2. We have 1, 2. So the type of polynomial is binomial. Okay? Degree of this term is 2. Degree of this term is 1. Degree of this term is 0. So the degree of this polynomial, which is actually a trinomial, is 2. So when the degree is 2, it's called a quadratic. Number of terms, 1, 2, 3. This is a trinomial. Okay, so we have this one term with a degree of 3. When the degree is 3, it's called a cubic. It has one term, so this is a monomial. All right, so we have a degree of 4 and a degree of 1. So the degree of this polynomial is 4. All right, when you have something with 4, it's called quadric. How many terms do we have here? We have 2, so it's a binomial. Remember, the terms are separated by addition or subtraction signs. Okay, the degree of this constant is 0. When the degree is 0, it is called a constant. And it's one term, so it's called a monomial. Trying to get you familiarized with polynomials before we start adding, subtracting, and multiplying them. Okay, when you write a polynomial in standard form, you always want to put the degrees from left to right need to be going down. Okay, so you want your highest degree first. For example, 4x to the third minus 2x squared minus x. You want it written like this in standard form instead of x minus 4x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay? This one is not in standard form, this one is. So we're going to practice putting these polynomials in standard form. Alright? So we have 3 terms. This is a trinomial. We need the term with the highest degree, which is this one right here. Remember, that's a negative 9x to the 4th power. Then we have a degree of 2 and a degree of 1, plus 6x squared plus 7. Okay, another way you can do it is list your degrees. Degree of 1, degree of 0, and degree of 3. So you want your highest degree first. Remember, that's a negative y cubed plus 3y minus 4. And then the last one, guys, you need to simplify. These are called like terms. So 7 minus 11 is going to give us a minus 4b. Okay? This is a 0 term. Degree. This is a 1 degree. We want our 1 degree first. Remember, that's a negative 4b plus 8. All right, that's it for this lesson. Y'all have a good evening. See you in class tomorrow.